There comes a point in life when silence becomes your greatest response. You don't choose it out of pride or ego, but because you've reached a place within yourself where peace means more than proving a point. And that's exactly what happened with you. Your attitude, your calmness, your silence, it became the lesson they never expected to learn. They once mistook your quietness for weakness. They thought that because you didn't argue, you didn't care. Because you didn't fight back, you had given up. But what they didn't understand was that silence doesn't come from emptiness. It comes from understanding. You weren't quiet because you had nothing to say. You were quiet because you finally understood that not everyone deserves access to your energy. At first, they tried to test your patience. They spoke words they didn't mean. They acted in ways that hurt, and they waited for your reaction. But when none came, when you chose peace instead of chaos, something began to shift in their mind. They started to wonder why you weren't fighting anymore. They began to question why your calmness scared them more than your anger ever did. And that's when they started to learn. Through your silence, you showed them something powerful that not everything deserves. A reaction that sometimes the most mature thing you can do is walk away. That self-respect is not about arrogance, but about knowing when to stop giving your energy to what drains your soul. You didn't scream, you didn't seek revenge, you simply let go, and that quiet decision spoke volumes. It wasn't easy. Deep inside, you wanted to explain, to tell them how much they hurt you, how much you gave, how deeply you cared. But something inside you whispered, "Let silence protect your peace." And so you listened. You started choosing peace every time your heart wanted to shout. You started healing in silence, smiling when no one understood, and growing quietly while they were busy watching your every move. Days turned into weeks, and slowly, they began to feel the weight of your absence. They realized that your presence had always carried warmth, calmness, and love. You weren't just a person in their life, you were a light. And when that light went silent, darkness crept in. They began to notice the small things, the way you listened without judgment, the way you cared without being asked, the way you stood by people even when it cost you your peace. They remembered, and that memory became their teacher. Now they see things differently. They realized that your silence wasn't punishment. It was truth. It was your soul's way of saying, "I've given enough." You taught them that people who truly value you will never make you beg for respect. You taught them that peace is more valuable than attention. You taught them that real strength isn't found in loud words or sharp arguments, but in quiet confidence and unshaken dignity. Your attitude changed them. You became the example they didn't know they needed. Every time they react in anger now, a small part of them remembers how you stayed calm. Every time they feel the urge to argue, they remember how you simply walked away. Your energy became a reminder that not every battle deserves to be fought. You didn't win by shouting. You won by rising above. And now, they see how your silence had power. It made them reflect. It made them question. It made them realize that maybe they were wrong. Not because you told them, but because your peace showed them. That's the beauty of energy. It teaches without words. You didn't need to say, "You hurt me." Your distance said it. You didn't need to say, "I deserve better." Your peace showed it. Life has a way of revealing truth in silence. And what they learned from you wasn't small. They learned that ignoring kindness is the same as pushing away blessings. They learned that the calmest person in the room is usually the one who has fought the hardest battles. They learned that love without respect will always end in silence. And most of all, they learned that your silence had meaning. It was your way of saying, "I'm done teaching." Through pain, your energy carried wisdom. The way you handled yourself in those moments became a spiritual mirror for them. You didn't need to pray for their realization, your calmness was the prayer itself. The universe worked through your peace. It allowed them to feel your absence so deeply that it echoed louder than your words ever could. And one day they finally understood. They realized that your attitude wasn't about pride, it was about boundaries. You weren't trying to win, you were protecting your peace. You weren't being distant, you were respecting your own energy. You weren't being cold, you were learning to heal without reopening old wounds. And that became their biggest life lesson, that sometimes the people who walk away silently are the ones who love the most, the ones who gave everything, the ones who, even when they choose distance, do it with grace. You became the lesson they didn't want but needed. You became the example of how to let go with dignity, and your silence became a reminder that growth doesn't always look beautiful. Sometimes it looks like quiet nights, long reflections, and letting go of people you once prayed for. Now, they see things through your eyes. They think before they speak. They feel before they act. They've learned that energy speaks louder than explanation, and that silence can heal what arguments can't. Your life has turned into a living message, one that says, stay calm even when misunderstood. Stay kind even when unappreciated. Stay peaceful even when wronged. Because peace is your real strength, not revenge, not reaction, but peace. And that's what makes your story powerful. You didn't just survive, you evolved. You turned pain into purpose and silence into strength. You became the living proof that healing doesn't always make noise. Sometimes it's just choosing to smile and move on. Now when they see you, happy, glowing, peaceful, they understand that your silence wasn't the end, it was the beginning of your transformation. They realized that you were never trying to teach them, yet they learned everything from you. Through your silence, you taught them how to value good energy. Through your peace, you showed them what self-respect looks like. Through your attitude, you gave them a powerful lesson they'll carry forever. That true power lies in calmness, not control. And so, your story continues. Not as someone who was hurt, but as someone who healed. Not as someone who lost, but as someone who learned. You didn't just change your world, you changed theirs too. Because when a person decides to walk in peace, the energy around them begins to shift. So keep shining quietly. Keep teaching through your calmness. You may never realize how many people are learning from your energy right now, how many are finding strength in your peace, and how many are being guided by the way you move through life with dignity and faith. Your silence is not emptiness, it is strength. It is grace. It is God's way of speaking through you without words. And one day, when someone else needs guidance, they will remember you, not for what you said, but for how you made them feel. They'll say, that person taught me what peace really means. And that's the kind of lesson that lasts forever.